Hello and welcome to SEO is Not That Hard. I'm your host, Ed Dawson, the founder of keywordspeopleuse.com, the solution to finding the questions people ask online. In today's episode, I'm going to cover tip number 37 from my quick SEO tips collection, all about handling Google updates. So here we go, tip number 37. Been hit by a Google update? Don't panic. My biggest tip is to do absolutely nothing for at least 2 weeks. Google updates take a while to roll through and traffic levels can vary a lot for a while. Wait till the dust has settled. Okay, let's cover what a Google update is first of all. Every so often, Google will make some changes to their main ranking systems, which they then have to roll out over a period of time. So these are like major changes to the way that they score, rank, and classify websites. There's various different sorts. The main usual one is what's called a core update, and that's something that can cover many factors, and it's like at the core of their algorithm, so they call them core updates. Sometimes they do specific updates that target particular areas. So they, for example, recent ones have been product reviews updates, which have impacted sites which have lots of product reviews or areas of sites with product reviews on them. They also do one called a helpful content update, where they're trying to classify which sites are helpful and which aren't. And if you fall under, if your site now becomes classified as one of not being helpful, you can see very large drops in traffic. They are link building processes and other things like that. So these core updates, when they come along, they take anything from a few hours up to almost 29 days to roll out. But the average seems to be sort of 10 to 15 days, something like that. Google pre-announce these updates and also announce when they're finished. So one of the key things to take with this is when these updates start to roll out is to really not try and second guess them until the update is completely finished rolling out. Sometimes as these updates roll out, they will tweak the dials on them. So you may see some very large ranking fluctuations. So in some cases, you might see a very large drop, followed by sometimes a bit of a recovery. Sometimes you might see a drop followed by a complete recovery within that period. So what you don't want to do during this time is any major changes to your site. Because obviously, if you are doing changes while a update is rolling out and those dials are being changed by Google on their end, you can't really tell whether anything that you've done has impacted yourself positively or negatively, because the underlying algorithm underneath is changing so much over this period that you're just going to get yourself confused. So that's what the first bit of advice is, to do absolutely nothing. Just keep an eye on the situation. See what other people are saying on Twitter or other forums, but try not to read too much into anything that's occurring during this time. All you can really do is sit back and watch. And lots of people say, don't even watch, because it can just be too bad, negative for your mental health to see these things go up and down. Now, I've been hit by Google updates in the past, most prominently Panda and Penguin, which I've mentioned in other episodes back in the early 2010s. It is really painful. I understand that if you're hit by one at any point, you're going to be tearing your hair out. All I can say with hindsight is that, it does get better. You will figure things out in the long run. Things will appear. People will figure out how to get around these algorithms and what changes you need to make. But they won't be making those discoveries immediately. So there'll be lots of speculation out there. There'll be lots of people posting the types of sites that are being hit and their theories about why they've been hit. But really, at this point, during the update rolling out, no one really has the answers. So while it can be interesting, and I'm not saying don't look at what other people are saying, you've got to take everything with a pinch of salt and just put it into the mix when you're trying to work out what's going on. But really, sometimes it can take several months really before people completely nail down how to recover sites like this. So the temptation is hard to resist trying to fix things quickly, but you just can't. You've just got to wait, because otherwise you're just sort of you're running blind basically, and you might get lucky, but you're more likely to just make your site worse, potentially do more harm to your site by trying to fix it early and waiting till you're much clearer on what actually needs to be done. So what positives can we take from a Google update like this? Well, there's a few actually. One is it's a good reminder to try and diversify your traffic and try and diversify your income streams. If you rely totally on Google traffic, then you are completely at the whim of Google, and this is a good demonstration of the risks you're taking. Now, while in some areas it's impossible to get away from that, then your diversification isn't just into traffic from sources other than Google. It might be actually to diversify into other websites, covering different topics, different areas, different types of websites, so that you have more resilience in the case of updates like this happening in the future. Just to spread your risk, essentially. It's like having a balanced portfolio. If you're into stocks and shares, you wouldn't just put all your money into one share or one class of shares. You would look to diversify across a range of shares and types of shares. So it's like that with building sites. Have a range, have a diversification. The other positive is you're not alone in your sector, your niche, your area. You'll find lots of your competitors are likely to have been hit by the same update. Now, this means that in the longer run, some of those competitors are going to give up. So this is where you've got to apply the tip from the previous episode about patience. You've got to take the rough with the smooth. If you carry on working and don't give up, it means that when you do sort it out, there's going to be less competition out there in your area, your niche, so that you will be able to come back stronger in the longer run. It's really key. You've got to look at the journey of owning, building sites as a long haul. There's going to be peaks and there's going to be troughs. Sometimes you're winning, sometimes you're losing. But if you stick at it long enough, overall, the trajectory will be upwards. This is a setback if you've been hit by an update. It can hurt. The loss of income can be terrible. That's why I say always, in the good times, make sure you put some money aside. Don't get carried away. Don't spend all your income. You've got to make sure you've got a cushion to fall back on. But if you've done that, if you've got a cushion, if you've got patience, you've got time, then you will outlast your competitors, the ones that give up at the first hurdles, the ones that give up when they first get hit, the ones that can't afford, they spent all the money, they can't afford to take the bad times, they have to go back and get a job. You're going to be the ones that outlast them. So that's a key thing. Patience. Look at it as a long-term game. This is a setback. It's a hiccup, but it's not the end of the road. You've got to keep on pushing. So let's say it one more time. Tip 37. Been hit by a Google update? Don't panic. My biggest tip is to do absolutely nothing for at least 2 weeks. Google updates take a while to roll through and traffic levels can vary a lot for a while. Wait till the dust has settled. Hopefully I've given you some good ideas on how to maintain your mindset through this period, actions to take once the dust has settled, and to be cautious in your recovery, but given time and perseverance and dedication, you will get through, you'll push through, and in the longer run, you will have a much better website. Thanks for listening. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe and share. It really helps. SEO is Not That Hard is brought to you by keywordspeopleuse.com, the solution to finding the questions people ask online. See why thousands of people use us every day. Try it for free at keywordspeopleuse.com. If you want to get in touch or have any questions, I'd love to hear from you. I'm at Channel 5 on Twitter, or you can email me at podcast@keywordspeopleuse.com. Bye for now, and see you in the next episode of SEO is Not That Hard.